Folks across Floyd County and eastern Kentucky were haunted by the question no one should ever have to ask: will we be safe the next time it storms? The answer was no. Because 3 years ago, almost to the day in July of 2022, fear became a reality, and Floyd County and much of eastern Kentucky was changed forever. That night, the skies opened up and rain poured harder than we have ever seen. And it continued to rain for days. Homes were ripped from their foundations. Neighbors and friends were lost. Kids were swept away from the grasp of their parents. Those that helped each other out sat and prayed for their neighbors, hoping that they made it too. In just hours, lives were shattered. Ultimately, 45 children of God were taken from Kentucky and from eastern Kentucky. I think about all the things that were swept away, because you'd look at where a house used to be, and it was just a foundation or nothing at all. Think about family photos gone, school diplomas gone, children's drawings gone. Generations of memories were swept away on one night through the next days that no one will ever be able to forget. The flood didn't just steal precious material things. It stole a sense of safety that lets us sleep at night, that tells us when it starts to rain that we don't have to panic. So today, we take steps to restore our people's feeling of safety, their security, that idea that you should feel safe in your home. So today we break ground on the first 3 of 34 new safe homes out of the flood zone. And the shovels that we're going to put in the ground are just another step forward. These new Kentucky homes will be the shelter for our neighbors, our friends, and our children. They aren't just houses. They are safe havens. I've been asked what my favorite moments are as governor, and I never want a favorite moment to follow a disaster. But when I see kids that have been resilient for years running through a new home and picking out their room, you see God and the joy that is in their eyes. These are safe havens where survivors and families can heal, where you can tuck your children in at night, and when it starts to rain, you can look around and say, we know we're safe. They are proof that even after the worst kind of storm, hope can rise, and so do we. These will be places for Claudette Reffitt, Kimberly Jones, and Ruby Hale to make new memories. And we're honored that your new Kentucky home is going to be a safe home. And that day that you get handed the keys, you will never have to worry about flooding again. Thank you all for being here. We talk about a lot of partners making this happen, and it's true. Because after a natural disaster, we don't care if somebody's a Democrat or Republican or an independent, and that ought to be how we act every day. But we've proven it for the last 3 years, right here in Floyd County and in Knott County and all over eastern Kentucky. This is truly putting people first, and I think it's an example for the rest of the nation and the rest of the world. Think about how Team Kentucky supported this project with $10 million to purchase 2 vacant lots here in Prestonsburg and to build the new homes, 33, and rehabilitate 1 existing one. I think about the fact that we announced this, which is the hope. Today's the progress. We announced it back in July of 2023, and it's taken a lot to get to this point, but here we are. Think about the work by Mountain Housing Corporation, the Big Sandy Area Development District, Frontier Housing that I'm working on at least 3 projects with, another one down the road in Breathitt County. Let's thank everybody for that. So as we stand here today on higher ground, knowing that these homes will never flood, I'm reminded of the moment after the floodwaters receded in the story of Noah. God painted a rainbow across the sky, not just as a sign of beauty, but as a promise, a reminder of His protection, His faithfulness, and His peace. These same promises hang over Floyd County today. This community has been through more than most people could ever understand. We've also shown the type of strength that can't be measured. And we want you to know we're not finished, not even close. We're going to continue to walk with you, to stand beside you, and to fight for you until every home, every structure, and every life touched by any of these floods is fully restored. We're going to stand here until every single family in this county and across eastern Kentucky is safe when it rains. On Team Kentucky, we've gotten through the hard times, and we've gotten through them together. And now we're going to get to the good times together. So New Hope is one of 8 high ground sites we're building in Eastern Kentucky. I'm convinced the most aggressive, bold, but also what will be the most successful rebuild in the history of the United States after a natural disaster. We've already built 11 in Wayland. I know our mayor's here. Thank you for all your work. In Letcher, we finished 10 on higher ground. Construction started at Skyview in Perry and in Knott. We're going to have hundreds of homes on Chestnut Ridge and many of these others. We're making sure that we're not just finding good homes for those that have flooded. We're trying to address affordable housing in Eastern Kentucky all at the same time. But I know to truly keep people in Eastern Kentucky, to make sure we provide the type of future that every child growing up here deserves, we've got to move forward on projects that will bring prosperity for future generations. Not far from here is one of the best sites to place a new business in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. That is the Thunder Ridge site. We've invested over $1 million in state product development initiative money. Thank you to our legislators for continuing to appropriate that money. We've invested $3 million of AMLR money that our federal partners have put in. Thank you all for that. And as the governor has brought more economic development than any in history, and I call my dad that and tell him that every night. It's a great site. It's going to bring so many jobs. It has the utilities. And when we complete that Mountain Parkway, 4-lane all the way to Prestonsburg, we are going to bring a bright future to this part of Eastern Kentucky. Maybe a month and a half. I think I'm going to be back for another groundbreaking on that last section, because you think about it, first time in history that the 4-laning of the Mountain Parkway, every part is either completed, under construction, or under contract. About a month and a half, we're going to move that to just completed or under construction, every single part of it. And what it means for economic development, but also for our families. I think about the Herald to Many, that's saving families 20 minutes each way, 40 more minutes that you could spend with your kids every single day. And I hear that the judge's phone is ringing off the hook. And I know I talked to some magistrates about the interest in the Thunder Ridge site, and we are thrilled. On top of that potential, we are building critical infrastructure that was hit hard in the floods. We've been here to present some of that money to Floyd County, but I asked my friend Judge Dobson to come over from Knott County because we announced just last week, but want to commemorate today something really important for the Knott County Fiscal Court. A few weeks ago, I announced that Team Kentucky is committing $5.3 million to build a new wastewater treatment plant outside the floodplain for Knott County. I invite Judge Executive Dobson and Jared of the Knott County Water and Sewer District to please come up. Like your judge here, they have done an incredible job. They have stuck with us. They have fought through this. I cannot say enough about their leadership, and that's why we know this is a great investment. Here's $5.3 million. Pretty neat that 3 years after the worst of the worst days, we've got a day where we're celebrating New Hope. New hope for safe housing, new hope for Eastern Kentucky. But I'd like to say the way we've all worked together over these last 3 years ought to give us new hope that we can do this, that we can be one country, indivisible, that we can tackle the important issues in front of us, and that we can do it working together and not yelling at each other. Thank you all very much.
Ruby Hale, and I'm going to be one of the homes that's built over here in the New Hope Edition. Mudslide off the back of the hill during the flood. Well, I got hit in 21 and this last flood, and mudslide went underneath the house and knocked it off its foundation. And mildew and the mold and everything, my house is leaning. Well, I went through FEMA, and I guess I signed waivers for other help for them to contact other people. And Frontier Housing called me out of the blue. I was on life support in February, and she called me. This other flood hit the day after I got out of the hospital. So, and then she called me and let me know that everything was a go and they was going to build me a new home. Everything means the world to me. Means God's good and there's good people. They are wonderful. They've been with me every step of the way. Cassandra is one of my workers. She has emailed me numerous times, step from step, everything that was happening, even about today. I mean, they've been great. Great. They've been godsends to me. It's going to be a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I raised 2 grandchildren and my dad and myself. So it'll be a challenge for them to pick the rooms. Bigger and better. I'm going to get my dad's room set up. He gets tickled at me. I said, I'm going to get your room set up. We'll put you in it, close the door. You're going to leave me alone. Let me do what I got to do. I'm going to have fun.